Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Mount Blade Bannerlord and we're doing another armor video. This one is top 5 Highland armors. So if you're not familiar with the game, the Highland armor is most closely associated with the Battanians, which I took for a Celtic Gaelic mashup. So kind of Irish, Scottish, a little bit of a Battanian, you know, from early on. So that sort of a feel to it. So if you haven't seen the other two videos in the series, first of all, I definitely recommend you go check them out, and any other that may have been released you know, since this one was released, depending on when you're watching it. But anyway, what we do in these videos is I rank 5 suits of armor for each faction, and I rank them, I basically pick out 5 really good suits of armor based on appearance, performance, and just overall value and how they look, and it's a mixed thing, mostly based on how well they protect you. But with that in mind, all of them also look fantastic, so if you want to dress up and match your faction or whatever culture you're going for, this is a great list, and personally the Highland armors are some of my favorite in the game. They just look so cool. So let's dive on into it and get started with number 1. So at number 1 we have what I call simply the Clan Warrior, and this one, as you can see, is a pretty basic troop, which is how I like to start them off at the first level, because not everybody likes to look like they're, you know, super rich and super well developed in the game. Some people like to play with, you know, more foot soldier looking armor. So for this one, I gave him a billhook as his primary weapon, because if anyone knows anything about history, the billhook was not only a super common weapon, but just a fantastically effective one. It's just a fantastic pole arm, and it also is in the game. I paired it with the Highland round shield, which I think I have for every suit of armor on this list, just because A, it's one of my favorite shields in the game, and B, it fits really well with their stuff. So that, and then I gave him the sow, I believe is how you say that, or the saw or something like that. I always say sooks when I look at it, but I'm pretty sure that's not how pronounced. And the reason I paired it with that is because that is a very, very historical weapon for the British Isles. So I definitely figured if we're going to be going Battanian, Highland, you know, Scottish, Gaelic, Celtic, you know, just a big mashup of all that, then this would be a good dagger to give them. So this suit is made up of the Highland fur helmet, the Highland cloak with shoulder straps, the Highland scale armor, the ragged arm wraps, and the Highland boots. So like I said, this one has got that foot soldier, basically pretty poor, maybe a levy just drawn up, and it's got, you know, maybe a hand-me-down hauberk, as you can see, because there's some scales missing and everything on there, but I really love the raw feel of it. So this one has a weight of 14.7 kilograms, a value of 1,672 gold, and an AAR, or average armor rating, of 92, making it a pretty dang good foot soldier uniform. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know, but that's actually pretty high, you know, for a base level recruit. So with all that in mind, that is the Clan Warrior, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, so for our second suit of armor we're going to be looking at the list, we have what I'm calling the Raider. And I like a lot of the ones on this list, because like I said, the Highland armor is it's probably my favorite in the game, but this one just looks so freaking cool. I love it for so many reasons. So for this one's weapons, I gave it the falchion, because falchions are freaking awesome, and it really fits the theme here. Pretty affordable weapons, very common in lower class, which would be what most of these people would be anyway. Paired it with the Highland round shield, again for the same reasons as before, and I actually made this one kind of a medium to light skirmisher sort of troop, so I gave him a mountain hunting bow and some bodkin arrows. So, you know, very, very versatile troop. So this outfit is made of the Highland plated noble's helmet, the Highland shoulder fur, the kilt over plated leather, which I just love, mostly because kilts wouldn't have been worn when coats of plate were worn, so it's super historically inaccurate, but it just looks so awesome. The Highland gloves and Highland leather boots. What a cool suit of armor. Just got to take a couple moments to really appreciate how awesome that looks. So this one has a weight of 17.1 kilograms, a value of 6,899 gold, so that's a huge jump over the previous one, and an average armor rating of 138, placing it decently above the last one. And again, look how cool it looks. Can't resist dressing up like that. So that is the Highlands Raider. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, and so for the third one on this list, we have what I call simply the Highlander. You know, like from Highlander. There can be only one. So if that last suit of armor wasn't cool enough, then we get this awesome suit of armor. So this one, I wanted to go for a whole, I don't know, kind of a William Wallace theme, but not quite, but basically just a more of a heavy infantry troop. So here we have the Thamaskene, I think is how you pronounce that, steel two-hander, and there was a There was a Highland two-handed sword that was also really cool, but I figured this one would be, you know, pretty awesome. Plus, the store that I was buying armor and weapons at had that one. So that would be the reason I chose that sword, but it is a really good two-handed sword. So then, of course, we have the Highland round shield again and the falchion again, just because everybody needs a backup weapon. Not everybody can be swinging a big two-handed greatsword all day. So, with that in mind, this one is made up of the Ridged Highland Helm, the Highland Furred Cloak, the Highland Noble Armor, which is, in my opinion, one of the cooler chest pieces in the game. It just looks so cool. The Reinforced Padded Mittens, and the Highland Fur Boots, giving them some nice, warm, fur-lined boots. Let's just spin that bad boy around and look at them a little bit. So this one weighs 18.9 kilograms, has a value of 12,106 gold, and has an average armor rating, or AAR, of 159, making this a pretty dang good suit of armor. So that is the Highlander. Let's move on to the next suit. So for number 4, we have the Warlord. And this one is one of the more ridiculous suits of armor in the game, but I really like it. It's got a certain classic fantasy sort of pseudo-historical, maybe 50s or 60s movie feel to it. So just bulky and cumbersome, but really cool looking, with some scale plate armor. It's awesome. Also has some chainmail underneath. So I don't doubt it would offer excellent protection. This one I gave the Highland Fine Steel Blade, which kind of looks like a gladius or a spatha. And then I gave him the Highland Round Shield, which we've seen before in the video, and then again gave him the same dagger that I gave early on, because like I said, for this faction that feels like the only dagger they should be using. So this suit is made up of the Highland Noble Helmet with Feather, the Highland Warlord Pauldrons, the Highland Warlord Armor, the Highland Warlord Bracers, and the Highland Warlord Boots. So you can see the developers definitely wanted this suit of armor to be one that was prominently featured, because, you know, they specifically made a suit of armor all with the same names and the same style, so it's definitely meant to be paired together. This one has a weight of 23.6 kilograms, making it much lighter than you'd think a suit this bulky looking would be. A value of 17,312 gold, which is actually not that expensive considering, you know, how cool it looks and how decent the armor is. And an average armor rating, or AAR, of 186, making it pretty dang good. So that is the Highlands Warlord. Let's move on to the final suit of armor. Okay, and so for our 5th and final suit of armor that we're going to be taking a look at today, we have the Highlands Ranger. And now this one looks pretty modest, but trust me, this is an excellent suit of armor. So this one has the same loadout weapons-wise as the last one, so I gave him the Highland Fine Steel Blade, the Highland Round Shield, and the Sooks as I like to call it. There's a little clipping on the back, but anyway. This suit is made up of the Highland Crowned Helmet, which is one of my all-time favorite helmets in the game, and also one of the best ones in the game. The Highland Cape, which looks super cool. The Ranger Mail, which is, again, one of the best body or hauberk, you know, whatever, torso covering armors that we have in the game, and I also really like how it looks. I know a lot of people may not like that aesthetic, but I definitely do. I like how that looks. It's very cool. Then we have the Reinforced Mail Mittens and the Lamellar Plate Boots. So this suit is definitely intended, I named it Ranger primarily because of the whole Ranger Mail thing, and also it sounds really, really cool. We've got some plaid going on underneath, so don't quite have a kilt, but still got some plaid, so it definitely feels very right. But this one is going to be your field commander, high level, or, you know, whatnot. So with that in mind, this one has a weight of 24.8 kilograms, making it only just slightly heavier than the last suit of armor. It has a value of 25,555 gold, making it just a little bit more expensive than the last one, or a couple thousand I should say, and it has an average armor rating, or AAR, of 215, making it an excellent suit of armor for basically any sort of combat condition you could encounter. Plus, on top of all that, it looks super dope. So with that in mind, that is the last suit of armor we're going to be looking at today. This was the top 5 Highlands armor. If you like this video, I encourage you to like it. If you have any pieces that you like to wear when you're going for this sort of character, or if you have specific types of armor or weapons that you wish had been included in the game, I now invite you to go share that down in the comments. And also, if you haven't watched the other videos in the series, you should probably check them out, because if you like this one, you'll probably like those ones. But with all that in mind, I hope you liked the video, but goodbye, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.